headshot. And you've probably read what it said about him. He's done recently The Grapes of Wrath at the Simi Valley Cultural Arts Center. But Ed has been, I'm impressed. He's someone I've known personally for a very long time. And he got back into this, and he's going to tell you his story. And I have his reel. So remember when Bryn was talking about getting a reel? I have Ed's reel, and we're going to play that at the end when you're all getting ready to leave. For those who want to stay for a little treat, you're going to see Ed's reel. And part of it, I think, was done by his nephew, but other parts are very good. And he's been in commercials, I think Viagra or something, I don't know. He's been doing a lot of that stuff. And so he's a working guy now. He's done commercials and TV and film, and I'm real impressed. Anyway, this is Ed Connelly. I'll let him tell his story. He's going to read it. Yes? Read it? Yeah. He wants to tell it right.
Well, I got to share this with you before I start. The last thing my wife reminded me of was, if you're going to read, don't lick your fingers when you change the pages. Well, I promise not to do that. Good evening. What a great turnout. Thank you so much for coming. My dissertation tonight will cover almost 60 years. But don't be concerned. I can get it done in about 5 minutes. When I was a kid in Brooklyn, I could watch films for free on weekends at the local movie theater in return for cleaning up after the performances. And I watched a lot of movies, many times. I loved them. The months working at the theater planted a desire in me to become an actor and a pilot. There were loads of terrific flying movies with great actors in those days. When I was 19, I packed up everything I could in my duffel bag and worked my way directly to Hollywood and Dubai. A few days later, I got a job at the Van Nuys Airport at a flying school, and I also started learning to fly in exchange for working hours at the airport. After a year, my Brooklyn girlfriend, Helen, came to California. We married, and 4 years later, we had 4 kids. But finally, I figured out what was causing it. And I needed serious money, so I became a flight instructor and taught many of the Hollywood group to fly. One of my students was a budding director by the name of Sidney Pollack. We became lifelong friends. And when Sidney was directing a film called The Flyers featuring John Cassavetes, he needed major technical aviation help. He hired me, got me in the Screen Actors Guild, and put me in my first acting role. About that time, I met several other directors because I started to do aviation stunt work. Eventually, I knew quite a few Hollywood production people and was scouting for locations and getting roles in TV episodes always related to flying. Over the years, Sidney became a world-famous director, and I became an airline captain for Trans World Airlines. We kept in touch, and he gave me an occasional role when he had airplanes in a film and needed someone to portray the pilot. Years later, I took early retirement from TWA, and coincidentally, Sidney decided to buy his own jet and asked me to fly co-pilot with him, which I did for 18 great years, and retired again. I had plenty of time off, so when my daughter Donna suggested my wife and I take a TAC class with her at Moore Park College, we jumped in. I noticed there was an acting class next door, so I sat in on it. A student was doing a scene and needed a mature partner, an old guy. I enrolled in the class, volunteered to do the scene, the teacher agreed, and we both got an A. It gave me a lot of confidence and my first real training as an actor. So I took acting classes at Moore Park College for a few years, and now I take classes with Tony Lashy, a fellow who's right back in the back of the room.
Wait, Tony.
and who is a great acting coach, a very talented actor, and teaches in his workshop right here at Golden. And because I'm a member of SAG, I've been able to take free acting classes at AFI, the American Film Institute. And this has been a major asset for me. I belong to an organization called Actors Access that's available on the internet. And in recent years, I have performed 12 student films at USC, 2 at the College of Art Design in Pasadena, and 1 right here just recently at CLU. I've acted in 2 plays at Simi Repertory Theater and often fit the role of Grandpa. In other work that I've been getting right recently. There are always opportunities for seniors listed in Actors Access. I had hoped to enroll in another acting class at Moore Park College next semester, but I had another commitment. You might consider Moore Park College. They have beginning acting classes with no age limits. And if you have an interest in doing some other acting, please come and sit in with us in Tony Lashy's workshop, right across the hall, Thursday night at 6:30. Did I lick my finger?
Okay, I would like to do an introduction for Jim. Jim